Hi, I'm Ryan Szymanski, curator for Battleship New Jersey Museum and Memorial. And today, we're on the destroyer escort USS Stewart, which is one of the museum ships at the Galveston Naval Museum at Seawolf Park in Galveston, Texas. Preserving a museum ship is incredibly difficult. Probably the worst thing for steel, which most of our museum ships are made out of, is salt water. And yet, these ships spend their lives sitting in it, and with other maritime environment factors such as the moist salt air and temperature fluctuations and everything else, it makes it an absolute nightmare to maintain ships like these. And so, odds are, when you visit the best maintained of museum ships, you're still going to see rust streaks. So, museum staff, like myself, like the guys here at Seawolf Park, spend a lot of time chipping rust and repainting it. And you can see we're in the middle of a project here at Seawolf Park. I'm sure people in the comment section are going to talk about, oh, this looks awful. It would never look like that on my ship. They should be ashamed of themselves. And to that I say, we would all love it if you came out and helped fix this. You can help either by donating or by coming out and picking up a chipping hammer. Anyway, there are always painting projects going on your local museum ships, and here on USS Stewart, it's no exception. So in today's video, I just want to talk about one of the restoration projects they're doing and compare it to a museum ship that has done that project already. So we're in the middle of a tour of some of the Gulf Coast museum ships, and we recently got to see the destroyer USS Kidd in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And Kidd has something I had never seen before, which I'm familiar with the K-gun. This is an anti-submarine projector. It shoots an approximately 300-pound depth charge off the side of the ship. So now you don't have to just run over a submarine and drop depth charges off the back. You can fire a spread off both sides. There are 4 on each side of a destroyer escort, plus the 2 rails, plus a hedgehog up forward. So you can fire depth charges in all directions and really do a number on a submarine. Close counts in horseshoes, hand grenades, and depth charges. So you've got the K-gun here, and there would be a rack nearby with several of these extra depth charges, usually about 4, but it depends. And then something I never saw, but that Kidd has had restored, is a rail system to slide these depth charges to the launcher where they sit on a boot that gets slid in here, and then they get projected off the side of the ship. Now, not only do museum ships have to contend with weathering and aging and, okay, it's damp here on the river, the stuff's getting rusty, we got to chip that, but no museum ship has ever been given to its museum intact. These ships have been decommissioned and used for a number of things, or in some instances, they're used as training ships for years after their actual service, but you want to return the ship to how it looked during its most critical service, like World War II. So you've got to find missing equipment and replace it. When Stewart came here to Galveston, she was missing the depth charge rack, so they fabricated something here to make it look like it would have. And they haven't been able to get all the boots. Those have not been used in years, so they're not sort of mounted the way that you would expect to see them, but they're here to give you an idea of what they are. Well, one of the projects that Stewart has been working on lately is to refabricate more accurate racks. And so that's a current volunteer project that's going on right now to restore these K-guns a little bit, chip them and paint them. You can see that they're already in the process and primed, and then to fabricate these new racks. Now, this project is further exacerbated by a shortage of paint. So companies are increasing the price of paint because there's a supply shortage. And so now the price of doing this project has gone up as well. If you are able and willing to support the museum, there's links in the description for coming out and volunteering and for donating if you don't live close to the Galveston area. Either way, they appreciate your support. If you're able to come out and volunteer in person and you're able to work for food, they will feed their volunteers. Some of the major projects that they've got going on right now are restoring a lot of their weapon systems. The 40mm guns don't traverse or elevate properly anymore, and they'd love to take those apart and get them cleaned up and working again. So they've got some manuals for that. If you're mechanically inclined and interested in such a project and in the area, you should come out and see about volunteering. Otherwise, they would really appreciate your support so that they can make these launchers look as good as the rest of the ship does. What do you think is a cool feature that every museum ship should restore to working order? Radio rooms? Weapon systems? Let us know in the comment section down below. Battleship New Jersey receives operating support from the New Jersey Department of State, also from a number of other businesses and private individuals like yourselves. If you'd like to support Stewart and Kavala at the Galveston Naval Museum, there's a link in the description below. Be sure to tell them who sent you. You can support Battleship New Jersey by liking, sharing, and subscribing so more people find out about our museum and our content. Thanks for watching.